Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with another episode and wanted to just discuss a little something that I think is pretty prevalent today, and that is the need to ban all automobiles on the road all across the world immediately. Don't forget to like, subscribe, spread the hashtag ban all cars. I'll explain in a minute. But yeah, share this video if you find this content helpful. Love y'all, and we'll dive in right now. So, why am I saying that? Ban all cars. Ban all cars. Now, work with me here. Walk with me through this. Does your right to drive a car, your desire to drive a car, your right to drive a car, supersede my right to live? The answer, of course, is no. And because if we banned all automobiles across the world, we would save many, many lives because there would be no car accidents. Therefore, we should vote and we should remove all cars from the road. We should melt them down, use the metal for other things, use the tires for, kiddie parks or whatever. This is the thought process behind people who want to champion what they call democracy. I'm just going to say this. For those of you that don't know, this isn't supposed to be a history lesson, but you can look it up. Our country was not set up to be a democracy. The founding fathers in the United States were actually very suspicious of and very leery of democracy because they realized that democracy was a type of mob rule where literally 50% plus one person could completely dominate and dictate everything for the other 49.999%, right? So what did they do? They set it up as a republic. Now, specifically, we are a constitutional republic, meaning we have a constitution, we have certain rules and things that we have established in a document that you can go to, you can appeal to that document. Also, we're a representative form of government, right? So that's Republican or Republic, but it's a democratic one. The members of the Republic, the senators, originally the senators weren't, but we'll use them as an example now. The senators, the representatives, even the president, these people are democratically elected, but it's not a democracy. What is the United States? It's a constitutional democratic republic. That's really what it is. This is a great form of government because I forget who the quote is from, but you may have heard, democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner, right? Think of how that's going to turn out. And you'll hear people say things like, during the COVID, the COVID pandemic, that was really the world's worst case of a combination of fear-mongering, I would say social testing. People wanted to see what people would put up with and that kind of thing. Incompetency. There's a bunch of incompetence going around with a lot of the health organizations and health officials and politicians and stuff, as well as nefarious behavior, because we know it's a fact that they were doing research in the Wuhan lab on coronavirus and all that stuff. So, horrible combination of all those things. But what am I saying? Democracy is a terrible form of government. When you hear people like, oh, we need to protect democracy, or, democracy, just ask them. So, are you saying that if 6 people out of 10 vote that people with blue eyes should be thrown into work camps, that should happen because, they democratically decided it? Most of those people are going to say no, but most of those people haven't given an ounce worth of thought toward that statement of we need democracy or protecting our democracy or, all this stuff. Either they're just repeating what somebody else said, or they're, which means ignorant, or they are evil because they know what they're saying is not right, but they're trying to manipulate people and control people using these buzzwords. So we need to get away from it. So what is one of the arguments that people use during COVID? During COVID, when they would try to force people to get the vaccines, they would, you hear people making the argument, my right to live is more important than your right to bodily autonomy. Your right to be able to say, no, I don't want to take a vaccine, should be squashed, and we should force you to get the vaccine because I have a right to live. Now, that exact scenario, right, because there's potential that I could die if you don't get a vaccine. That exact scenario can be applied in all kinds of situations. The one I use might be an extreme example. Hashtag, what did I say? Ban all cars. It's an extreme example, but it's exactly the same. We can save lives by banning driving, by destroying all cars, by getting rid of cars all across the world. Therefore, we should do that, and people that have a problem with that should shut up because our right to live supersedes your right to drive. Horrible logic, horrible reasoning, and it's a great example of why democracy, true, pure democracy, is a horrible, terrible form of government. This is why in the Bible, you don't see democracy. You don't see democracy in the Bible. You don't see God setting up a system of government where people just get to vote and whoever gets the most votes wins. No, God set things up, and this is why the founding fathers did this as well. They saw this as the greatest way of setting up government, because you're going to have government. You're going to have some kind of structure where people are making decisions on behalf of society, and it's not every single person involved. It's going to happen. So what do they see? They saw the problems with monarchy. They saw the problems with democracy. They saw the problems with, all kinds of forms. And when looking at the scriptures, they see things like, hey, separation of power, separation of duties, separation of responsibilities. They also saw that written down moral code in the Bible, and they baked a lot of that into their founding documents. Once again, we see the Bible fixes everything, y'all. The Bible has something to say about these important, very important things in our lives, because there will be a government over our social structure. I don't care if you had a town of 500 people or if you're talking about a nation of 50 million people or whatever it is, you're going to have some kind of governmental structure. And what do we need to use to guide and navigate ourselves through that? We use the Bible. That's exactly what the founding fathers did. That's why we are in a constitutional democratic republic, and we are not in some kind of straight up democracy, because democracy is mob rule, and democracy it is a well-intentioned path to hell. So love y'all. Hashtag down with democracy. Hashtag ban all cars. Definitely spread this video around. Let me know what you think. Did you like a little bit of a history lesson? Did you like some of the addressing the cultural issues of the day? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think I'm full of it? Do you think that the Bible says nothing about this? The Bible only tells us how to be saved. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments. Go ahead and leave them below. On your way down to the comment section, slap that subscribe if you're not already, and definitely hit the like. Love y'all. God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next episode.